The first, ladies and gentlemen, my viewers, today we are having a very respectable and honorable guest with the International Human Rights Commission live show to celebrate the International Women's Day 2021 as the month of women. Mrs. Winifred Kiiza, she born 26 November 1972 in Uganda, and her father was a teacher and politician. She was also a teacher and turned politician who served as the first leader of opposition, female leader of the opposition in the history of Uganda, and incumbent member of the parliament, representing the Kasese District Women in the 10th Ugandan Parliament and 11th Ugandan Parliament. She is a full-time in politics now, from 1996 to 2001 and onward. She is appointed as the leader of opposition in the history of Uganda, first ever female reaching on that position. And now she is again elected as the Member of Parliament. Right Honorable, you are here and welcome.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
I have a first question.
Such a huge honor for me. And
I have a first
Yes.
question for you. Tell me about yourself, being as a politician, being as a female, being as a member of parliament. What is the difference that you are making for the people and the women of Uganda?
thank you, Your Excellency, and our viewers. Just like I have been introduced, I'm Winnie Kiiza, a member of parliament in the Republic of Uganda. I have been a member of parliament since 2006, when we had the first multi-party type of system. And yes, I became the first woman member of parliament in the opposition from the entire Western region. I have been in politics since 1998, when I first sought election as a district councillor in the district council. But prior to that, I was teaching in St. Teresa Girls' School. With your question, it's indeed hard to work as a mother, a wife, a people's representative, and a member in the party and at a leadership level. But I have tried, because I know that women have this inherent quality of leadership. Working with others, I have been able to execute my duties faithfully and diligently. And I can tell you that I was the first female leader of opposition in the history of Uganda since independence, just like you have said it. A duty that I did with honest dignity and a resolve to serve my people. I have served the people of Uganda in defending the fundamental human rights of women and girls and the liberties of all people, irrespective of their gender and ethnicity. I still work hard to challenge the status quo and ensuring that resources are put in the right direction for the sake of the development of women. And I want to thank all the women of the world, together with the men who have made it their point to ensure that women are in positions of influence and are given a shoulder to lean on to execute their duties. I therefore want to thank you, Your Excellency, for according me this opportunity to people that you want to be celebrated. Thank you.
Right, Honorable. Thank you very much for your answer of this very basic question. But I want to ask you that do you consider that the women can lead with the greatest strength the nations and to have the solution where the world is facing at this time? The COVID-19 isn't a pandemic, but for the women, there is a pandemic within the pandemic. So what do you think about it?
Yeah. It is really sad that we are celebrating this year's International Women's Day when majority of the women have lost the pandemic. I'm also aware that majority of the women, or even half, mostly employed in low-paying jobs. And therefore, when we get a crisis like the current situation we are in, it's more of the women than the men who are going to lose their jobs. It's more of the women than the men who are facing more of the domestic violence in homes. And this situation is going to draw them back to absolute poverty. It is a sad situation that as we celebrate this International Women's Day, more than boys, the girls are leaving school. Majority of them, because of the pandemic, have had pregnancies at an early age. Therefore, call upon the world leaders that special opportunities be put aside for the women of the world, for the girls and women, to ensure that they get a future strong women and girls. Have brains. They have makes them grow mentally and emotionally. And with the coronavirus coming in again, the corona pandemic coming in again, facing with bitterness. Want to say that enough is enough. The occasion just, and we choose to challenge. Challenge those to rise up to the occasion to support opportunities for women to make them rise up to the challenge and choose to challenge.
Thank you very much for your valuable comments. Right, Honorable, today the gender equality. Today the gender equality is a challenge for the whole humanity, for almost a whole world. Gender discrimination and parity is not fulfilled according to the promises, whatever the SDGs, our 2030s are making. If I will take the look at your own country, there are many problems: political unrest, stability, and the women's education, especially the education of our women, for all girls, everywhere, without any discrimination. What do you think that the world should do properly to address these three questions. One, the gender discrimination and inequalities. Two, the gender parity in the politics. Three, education for the girls. You have to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself, Your Excellency.
Yes, Your Excellency, I would like to applaud those nations that have tried hard to ensure that there is gender parity in their planning processes, in the way they do things, and in the way they. I want to thank the United Nations under the development goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, and specifically Goal 5, where we are supposed to talk about equity and equality for the women. And many countries, by the way, are talking about gender parity, gender equality, gender mainstreaming. But when you look at the real tangible issues that they put in place to make education safer for women, affordable for women, to make jobs available for the women and girls, to make all services closer to the women, you find that it is none. And therefore, we can't be proud that very few countries are making strides to ensure that there is equity, there is equal distribution of resources. There is need for nations to specify those areas where women will make an impact. Take, for example, putting more resources in the agriculture subsector. In agriculture, if affordable loans are given to women in their different countries without discrimination in terms of race, in terms of gender, and in terms of orientation and political affiliation, we shall see women are hardworking. If we shall see many of our girls taking up positions of influence, because many of these positions require some degree of education. If we go to the political sphere where I come from, we know very well that there are some countries which have put in place affirmative action. But with the monetization of politics, as it is now in the world, and most especially in our countries in Africa, women are not, they are not enable them to upon again the sure there is economic growth, but is not quantified. And contributions of women in terms of the work they do, we want to appreciate that women, if given positions of influence and responsibility, they can, and that in fact, women, when they realize that they so I call up to ensure that they put in place opportunities to enhance the growth of political organizations and representation and be able to be that is for them to many question. The result is not characterized by intimate when it comes to violence, women are not, so somehow they will shy away. Many of the cultural norms and values, these ones also make it hard. So there is still yet a debate that we think should be carried out in our cultural settings to ensure takes care of all of us, so that both is each other as equal partners in the development of our countries.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Thank you, Right Honorable. There is one more question which is the most essential, apart from this political and non-political things. There is something about the climate, and you know, as a leader, as a teacher, as a grassroots person, the climate is very much hitting the countries, the atmosphere, and to the lives of our people. What do you think that how the women can play a leading role? Already, if you have seen, already lot of girls are turned down as leaders of climate change. But more effective way, what you think, what is the more effective way? Because these all things need to be legislation. So what do you think that the women, how the women can play a role being as a legislators to combat the climate change issues which every country is facing?
Thank you, Your Excellency, and I want to thank all those who have participated in issues regarding modifying and putting right our climate. I can comment under climatic conditions. Last year, we were hit with a disaster of floods and landslides in the Rwenzoris, and I can attribute this to climate change. The snow on the Rwenzoris is fading away, and yet this was providing the beauty of our area. Girls and women in our countries play a very, very fundamental role in creating an environment that is safe and secure. Because we know that it is more women than men who suffer the consequences of bad climate. Environments affect our farms, and therefore a lot of work needs to be done. Nations need to have money put aside specifically given to women who are involved in climate change activities. Talk about those who are in tree planting. Talk about who are using better methods to farm by improving their environments and putting into consideration climate issues. More money needs to be put aside. Just like you have said, countries need to have adoptive measures and legislations that will ensure that there is sustainability and more environmental management issues taken care of. Many countries have signed protocols, international legislations, but they have not they have not put sufficient. If maybe the international community can compel nations and countries to adhere to the so many international legislations they have appended their signatures to, and compel them to domesticate them, put budgets sufficient enough to enable us tackle the issue of the climate and the conditions attached to it, then more women than men will be at peace, because bad climate causes insecurity in the lives of women. And I know it's the reason why many of our women and girls are putting their energies together to exchange. And indeed, the women are at the forefront. They are only lacking support from their governments. They are lacking resources from the development partners. They are lacking support from all the that a good climate. Therefore, I want to use this opportunity that special funds are put aside for climate change issues and environmental countries can, because our environment is our mother. The good air that we breathe in supports us. And therefore, by cleaning our environment, by cleaning the atmosphere, by ensuring that we have sufficient sources of water, we shall continue living in harmony. And we may even be able to reduce some of the wars that we fight, because I know some of these wars are as a result of failure to provide the populations with sufficient food. And the issues of environment may be some of the causes of the loss of fertility in our soils, and therefore causing hunger and suffering to the populations. So nations need to calculatively take a step in the direction of climate change mitigation and supporting the women and girls who have made it their effort and who have done everything humanly possible to advocate for the issues of environmental protection and management, and therefore mitigating the effects of climate change.
Thank you very much. It's a really a very calculated statement. In my views, there are so many organizations. Like if they are a former head of states, they made the world leaders organization. If they are the head of government, they made the head of government organizations. If they are the ministers, they make the ministerials and ambassadorial councils. Being as an opposition leader, and the first ever female opposition leader in the history of Uganda, do you ever think that you will convene the opposition leaders, especially the female opposition leaders from the different countries, to sit and to discuss how that the female can be more empowered and given a more wider role into the legislators, into the national politics, so that the opposition leaders, when the female opposition leader will sit together, they will be a more effective and powerful voice for the women in the world?
I want to thank you. I think even when we are in the opposition, our main target is to see ourselves taking power. So we look forward to that day when we shall be in power and causing the necessary changes that we think should happen in our countries. However, when I was in the position of leader of the opposition, because this is a position I served in from 2016 to 2018, I was advocating for a caucus of all opposition leaders in the East African community and beyond. By the time I left, we were now preoccupied with the fight against the removal of age limits in my country. And this, I did not pursue it higher. But I would also encourage that opposition leaders in the world form a caucus. This caucus will enable the opposition leaders in the countries where they come from, and when they make a caucus of all opposition leaders in the world, they can be able to champion some of the legislations, because the purpose of the office of the leader of opposition is to provide watch and scrutiny over the policies of government. In my capacity as leader of opposition, I was tasked with the core responsibility of keeping government in check. And I can tell you, I wrote through my shadow cabinet alternative policy statements. And we are talking about environmental protection, climate change, all these, some of the issues, we gave them to our government. But I believe that if we had a solid voice from across the world, from all the opposition leaders, and they say this is a communique that we have made, we are talking about climate change and its effects on humanity, and therefore we are compelling our nations to do ABCD. I'm very sure that the countries will comply. And therefore, giving these leaders an opportunity not only to be looked at as mayor of our countries. And for me, basically, that's why I want to applaud all the leaders of the opposition wherever they are, because they play a critical role of providing the necessary checks and balances for the leadership of their countries. They provide the necessary shocks for to those possibly who are about to get out of the step. Majority of our leaders world over, they intend to do legislation of the opposition. Then you can be sure that some of these legislations they may not just go, and therefore if we got a focus, it can be another step in the right direction. First of all, to concretize and cherish world over, but also to create a platform for these leaders to become effective and able to become part in that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If I may suggest that International Human Rights Commission as an intergovernmental organization will offer you, Right Honorable, to be a leader of opposition leaders caucus. We will establish it, and we will invite all opposition leaders just after this pandemic will be more making us easily move. So we will hold the world over first opposition leaders caucus summit. So would you lead that caucus as a member of parliament and former opposition leader?
I would really be more than happy to come and give fair picture of the mind and be able to be pioneers of this focus. I would be part of.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this accepting, and we will do our best. We will do our best to invite you and all the opposition leaders, and we will make you to the host of that caucus summit. Very soon we will share with you on behalf of the International Human Rights Commission this agenda. Right Honorable, now we are moving toward the last segment. You are a mother, you are a wife, you are a politician, you are a leader, and hopefully the one day you will be leading your country as a head of government or head of a state too. What will be your message to the young girls across the world?
To the young girls across the world, I want to let you know that let not your situations deter you from pursuing your dreams. I know many of you come from very appealing backgrounds, but I can tell you that when you choose to challenge the odds of society and you stick to your principles and values, you can move mountains. So hold on and hold. The world is there for you, limit. Actually, you can even all the girls out there, successful celebrations of the International Women's Day. I want to call upon them that this country, your countries, rely on you for guidance, for mentorship, and for leadership. You are the leaders of the world. So keep yourselves safe and acquire the necessary capabilities that will enable you to be the world leaders. You want them to achieve set goals and follow them properly. I want to say, I come from a very ground standing. Choose to challenge, you will overcome. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. This is a very wonderful message to choose to challenge. Let's, we both raised hand to choose to challenge, and this is the word we choose to challenge for the women's and for the women empowerment.
I choose to challenge.
And I choose to challenge on behalf of the women of my country and women of my world.
You're most welcome. Thank you for choosing to challenge.
Thank you very much, Your Honorable, and it is rightly, we are very happy to have you, and definitely we will engage with you again to celebrate your leadership and to make you an inspiration of the many girls around the world, because from the grassroots you have taken to be as a leader, and we want that every girl in the world should be move forward and to there is sky for their limits. They don't need it, but they need a proper guidance and education. So let us, that we will also motivate the men, so that the men should realize that the women are an equal partner of their life, not only in the life, in the workplace, and in education, in prosperous future for the coming generation. Thank you very much to having with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the episode Choose to Challenge and Women Leadership Across the World. We were having today with us the Member of Parliament, first ever female opposition leader in the history of Uganda, and you have listened to what the Miss Winifred also has explored about the questions. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless the peoples of Uganda, madam, and God bless to you, and God bless the people, the women around the world who is celebrating the International Women's Day as a Women Month at March. God bless you.
God bless you too.